Jaya Rama Ravo Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Kupajana Valama Jaya Girivaradari Jaya Girivaradari Kupajana Valama Jaya Girivaradari Jaya Girivaradari Yashodanandana Jaya Vratajana Vranjana Jaya Vrachajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vratajana Vranjana Jaya Vrachajana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari 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 Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaman Iti Namne Namaste Saraswati Devam Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashkati Visatarane Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya So today we read from Srimad Bhagavatam, this is first canto, chapter 11, text 4-5. I just read the shloka. Tatropanita balayo raverdipamivadritaha atmaramam purnakamam nijlabhena nityada priti utpula mukha prakur harsha gadgadaya gira pitaram sarvasuhridam avitaram ivar bhakaha tatra thereupon upanita having offered balayaha presentations. Ravehe, up to the sun. Deepam, lamp. Eva, like. Adritaha, being evaluated. Atma aramam, unto the self-sufficient. Purnakamam, fully satisfied. Nijalabena, by his own potencies. Nityada, one who supplies incessantly. Priti, affection. Utpulamukha, cheerful faces. Prakuhu, sad. Harsha, gladdened. Gadaya, ecstatic. Gira, speeches. Pitaram, unto the Father. Sarva, all. Suhridam, friends. Avitaram, the guardian. Eva, like. Arbakaha, words. Translation. So citizens arrive before the Lord with their respective presentations, offering them to the fully satisfied and self-sufficient one, who, by his own potency, incessantly supplies others. These presentations were like the offering of a lamp to the sun. Yet the citizens began to speak in ecstatic language to receive the Lord, just as words welcome their guardian and a father. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The Supreme Lord Krishna is described herein as Atmarama. He is self-sufficient, and there is no need for him to seek happiness from anything beyond himself. He is self-sufficient because he is very transcendental. His very transcendental existence is total bliss. He is eternally existent, he is all cognizant and all blissful. Therefore, any presentation, however valuable it may be, is not needed by him. But still, because he is the well-wisher for one and all, he accepts from everyone everything that is offered to him in pure devotional service. It is not that he is in want for such things, because the things are themselves generated from his energy. The comparison is made herein that making offerings to the Lord is something like offering a lamp in the worship of the sun god. Anything fiery and illuminating is but an emanation of the energy of the sun, and yet to worship the sun god is necessary to offer him a lamp. In the worship of the sun, there is some sort of demand made by the worshipper. But in a case of devotional service to the Lord, there is no question of demand from either side. It is all a sign of pure love and affection between the Lord and the devotee. The Lord is the Supreme Father of all living beings, and therefore those who are conscious of this vital relation with God can make filial demands from the Father. And the Father is pleased to supply the demands of such obedient sons without bargaining. The Lord is just like a desire tree, and from him everyone can have everything by the causeless mercy of the Lord. As the Supreme Father, the Lord, however, does not supply the pure devotee what is considered to be a barrier to the discharge of devotional service. Those who are engaged in the devotional service of the Lord can rise to the position of unalloyed devotional service by his transcendental attraction. So the shloka is again, the citizens arrive before the Lord with their respective presentations, offering them to the fully satisfied and self-sufficient one, who, by his own potency, incessantly supplies others. These presentations were like the offering of a lamb to the sun. Yet the citizens began to speak in ecstatic language to receive the Lord, just as was welcomed the guardian and the father. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swam Dinamine Namaste Saraswati Devam Gauravani Pracharne Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashkati Satan.
It's from Prabhupada.
Okay. So this shloka has for us actually a little bit bigger meaning as we may think, because it's establishing the mood of worship in our case. It may not be very pleasing maybe for some, but I can document this from Srila Prabhupada correspondence, that Srila Prabhupada established our worship of Krishna and Radharani on the level of Narayan and Lakshmi. Because actually Krishna and Radharani are worshipped in a very intimate way. This is the highest level of worship. Therefore here in Dwaraka, you find the worship being conducted in a mood of respect, Krishna is worshipped with opulence. He is recognized as being the chief, He is recognized as being the greatest. Worship in Vrindavan is not like that. In Vrindavan, the villagers are not collecting to actually give something to Krishna. Yeah, they do it also, but they are mostly concerned that Krishna is not missing anything. Prabhupada said, Mata Yashoda is not asking Krishna for daily bread. She is worried that he will not get a daily bread. So this is quite a different attitude. This is a love on the highest level where you are out of love worshipping Krishna, worried that he may miss something, or he will actually, gopis are worried about his feet. When he walks here on the stones, his feet get hurt. Mata Yashoda is worried when he's going to come home, he must eat, must be hungry, yeah. It's quite a different attitude for the residents of Dwaraka, who welcome the Lord already being established as the Supreme, and they offer him something, and Prabhupada used the word filial demands. There's some sort of loving expectation that I will give you something, you will protect us. But it's not that what we find in mundane religions, that the worshippers, in pious way, pray for their bodily needs. Give me. Yeah? Give me a good body. Give me a nice wife. Give me nice food. Give me. And then it's understood God can give. Yeah, He is the greatest. He owns everything. So why shouldn't He give me something? It was once on a train, Srila Prabhupada was traveling, and it became known that there is a sadhu on a train. Immediately people start to pile up. And of course Prabhupada and his bodyguards, Brahmananda, and this, hey, where are you going? So, but there was 3 gentlemen who were insisting to have the darshan of the sadhu. And then so Prabhupada said, let them in, yeah, they are pushing, so let them in, come. What do you want? Ashibat, Maharaj, Ashibat. Blessing. He said, what blessing? Well, you see, my knee is not functioning, please give me blessing so I can walk properly. Prabhupada looked at them very firmly and he said, my blessing is chant Hare Krishna. Regarding the knee, go to the doctor. They were a little bit disappointed. This is how people become atheistic. Because a doctor comes, did God help your knee? No, sir, it's still hurting. I can help you, come. So people think communists were preaching like this. Prabhupada gives example. They really did that. There were Russians, walking, poor Russians, always going to the church. Give me, save me. Give me our daily bread. So the Russians, the communists came with a truck full of bread in front of the church. When people came out, they said, so, did you got some bread in the church? No, sir. Well, we have a whole truckload of bread. Here, take our communistic bread. And people became communist. Prabhupada said, these rascals never told them where they got the bread from. Bread is not created in some communistic factory, Bread is a grain, and grain is growing on fields and earth and rain, and where is this coming from? Therefore, the communism finally collapsed. There was no bread at the end. No. Krishna said, thank you very much for the communism, bye-bye. No more bread. And then people go to the capitalist. Can you give us bread? Oh yeah, sure. Work in our factories, we will give you. Oh, people are getting so cheated. I could just completely deviate and go into that. Give you a long presentation. How cheated people became. They were working on the land originally. And farmers are always more pious people because, as I described yesterday, they know without rain there is no harvest. So they are like, please, you always find churches in farmland. There were always churches. Why do people waste their time on Sunday, hardworking people, to go to church? Because they knew, if you don't pray, no church, no rain. They were thinking like this. So, it was more established like that. Okay. But still, it was this give me. So, and sometimes there was no rain. They said, what is this? We are praying, nothing coming. What is this? Because God is not obliged to follow our command or fulfill our prayers. For what? But then came the capitalists and said, churches here going on. New York is a beautiful example. There was originally churches, and churches were always the highest buildings in town. Then came the skyscrapers. Bank of New York. They built a skyscraper 10 times as high as the church. And the churches became like little things. Monument of the past, more like relics. Actually, devotees got some benefit from that because most of the temples in America they established were old churches. They were selling the churches, nobody coming. What's the use of this building here? So devotees are going, okay, we can use that. And Prabhupada was laughing. He said, now the church is full again. Hare Krishna. I don't want to go in detail, but Prabhupada actually he said it even, and devotees bought one church, including the equipment. There was these benches, you can knee down and pray, and there was a place for the preacher. Prabhupada said, you can keep it. Leave it there. And I was going, yeah, but we want the temple room, we are dancing. And the Prabhupada said, you can dance in front, but keep the benches because people are used to come here. This is their place to pray. They were just not inspired because, inspired by whom? The priest, And the people said, give us our daily bread. You know what they got? A little piece some kind of really old dry chapati, a little piece of bread, which symbolizing God's body. And to that, you could sip from a glass, opulent glass, with wine. That symbolizes Jesus' blood. Go forward, Guru Puja, I tell you. You go and you eat the spiritual master's body and drink his blood. Well, we don't do that. That's for sure. We don't worship the Guru being nailed on a piece of wood. Yeah, pretty far out religion, you know that? I'm not offended. I mean, Prabhupada had the highest regards for Jesus Christ. But when Prabhupada was once in South America accommodated in a house of pious Catholic people, Christians, they found Prabhupada sitting on a bed. He didn't move. They put down the suitcase and he was sitting and he was crying. Really crying. They're going, Prabhupada, what happened? Prabhupada said, take this down immediately. There was a crucifix hanging on a wall. He said, take it down immediately. Look what they have done to him. He couldn't even look at it. And they go in a church and they go, oh, spiritual master, drinking blood, eating body. Praying to go to heaven. It's in a prayer. A good Christian goes to heaven. Prabhupada said, well, he doesn't go to the spiritual world. He goes to heavenly planets. It's stated there. And that's a fact. A moral-based, pious Christian goes to heaven. Therefore, Prabhupada came and he said, not bad. It's you pray, it's not bad. But I will make you better Christian. That was a problem. Because unfortunately many Christians think they are the best Christians. So what can you do? But I met in my life very nice Christians. I don't want to go now in detail, but the first 2 years traveling in Germany, every night we slept in a church. Why? Because the churches always have some dormitories for the traveling preachers, but they were empty. And we met some very Catholic, mostly, but actually Protestant also. They were going, oh, monks. Oh, that's interesting. They never saw this one before. Young boys, monks. Yeah, you can stay here overnight. So 2 years, we were every night in some church. And some of these priests, they were very old men, they really liked us. They were getting up in the morning chanting on the rosary, and we were chanting on our japamala. Actually, and they were thinking, why not? I end up I remember one very small church in South Germany. The man was so nice. And he was so happy that we are coming because, he was alone there, He was in celibacy, the old man. And we were also brahmacharis. So he was going, hey, happy monks, that's good. And what did devotees do? They told him, yeah, we have a morning ceremony, in our temple. It's our church. And he said, what ceremony? We will show you. So there was an altar, of course, with crucified Jesus. And then they put the Guru Parampara pictures on the altar, pull out the Medanga from the car, and they were going, Samsara Dava Nala Leda. And the priest was in bliss. He was going, that's amazing. A ceremony, you can dance to it. They were going, come on. I saw the whole thing from above because I was very curious. They had a beautiful old organ, this old, organ up there. So I asked the priest, what is this? And he said, oh, that's very old. It wasn't even electric. You had to operate it by trampling the feet. So I was going, can I try it out? And he was going, yeah, sure. So I pulled the registers and I was going, Samsara Davanala. It was going through the church. And down there were devotees dancing with the priest, That was our morning artic. He loved that. Then after 2 years came a letter from the Central Catholic Management, no more Hare Krishna's accommodation. Finished. Some of them, these priests were very sad. Oh, sorry, I cannot accommodate you. The central authority forbade that. That was the end of that story. Anyway, so what did they do to these pious farmers? They told them, you are working so hard here, look, every day working, praying for the daily bread. You have no fun. Come to the city, there where all the fun is. We have cinemas, we have theaters, we have fun in the city. And the farmers were like, oh, but we have to make some income. Don't worry, we will employ you in a factory. You can make lots of money. So one after another, they were leaving the land, abandoning the cows, and ending up working in a factory. Living much worse as before. No fresh air, nothing, slums. Immediately the criminality came up. In the villages, not easy to be criminal because everybody sees what's going on. And farmers, they have a very easy way to deal with criminality. They just unleash the dog. There's some guy trying to steal something, they go, the dog will take care of most of it. If the dog is not efficient enough, they come with an axe. They're helping each other, the neighbors. There was a thief in your house. I saw it. Now he is lying in your garden there. He doesn't move. That's farmer logic. Just bang. They didn't even call police. No. They just took care. They had their own law. This is basically, in India, villages like this, try to India, call police. I mean, come on. Some kind of guy with a bamboo stick comes, what is this? The villagers, they take care of some criminal. They know how to do that. Anyway, so everything became worse. I met one farmer who said, we were working so hard on the field. Harvest, there was 60 people next to each other in a row with this, cutting grain like a row. You know what they were doing? They were singing to it. They had a particular songs, and often religious songs. And you know what the priest did? He was the first one harvesting with them. It was our priest from the village. And then every night they came together and they had some music, in a village place, some dancing, some feast. The women were cooking and So, and then the neighbor told me, and then we didn't have to do this anymore. When the first machines rolled on the field, we were crying. One machine harvesting the whole field in no time. No job. We could say, we will enjoy now. No. I told him, and you know who produced the machines? They were produced in the city, in a factory, by the very same people who they took them from the land. And what do city people do? After working in a city, living in a city, in an unpleasant, very, very demanding environment, they go on holiday. You know where? Well, it's the same land they came from. Isn't it cheating? They take you from the land, put you in a dirty factory, so you can have 2 weeks holiday to go to the same land back. And you go, fresh air, holiday. I mean, that's really cheating. All in the name of better sense gratification. It's ridiculous. So that's how people got cheated. Now they don't even know it. They forgot it. So this is how the conditioned soul get cheated. And coming back to the mood of the citizens of Dwaraka, Prabhupada said, first serve, then you deserve. That means first learn how to serve. Why should you serve? Well, God is the greatest, He is the chief, everything comes from Him. Just to learn that. We think, yeah. That comes from Krishna, but this is actually mine. Thank you, like. No. Everything comes from Krishna. Krishna describes in detail in the Bhagavad Gita the fact that we can breathe, we can think, the desire, the living power. Krishna says, I am the life force in all the living. I mean, how more Krishna conscious you can become? Somebody is living, it's Krishna. And then Prabhupada defined even consciousness, thinking, feeling, willing, the consciousness. Prabhupada said, that's Krishna consciousness. If you are not in Krishna consciousness, you are not conscious. You are living dead. Why? Because you are just moved like a puppet by the three modes of material energy. And just so you don't get the point, there is false ego telling you that's also Krishna. You are great. You are God. You can do that. It's called positive thinking. They call it positive thinking. Don't doubt yourself. You can do it. Do it. But they cannot do that. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, they think they are the doer, but it's already done by the material energy. We have only one choice, to desire. That voluntary desire, Krishna, I will serve you, or I will serve illusion, that Krishna doesn't touch. He says, that's your department. What do you want? Oh, I want to forget you. Krishna can make you forget Him forever. These life forms, they have no problem with Krishna consciousness. You become some fish down there on the bottom of the ocean. Don't worry, nobody will come and preach to you. There's no problem with that. There are 8,400,000 species, and they are made according to our desire. Some species we don't see anymore. Anyway, all these dinosaur stories and all this. Prabhupada said there was no dinosaur. But there's bones there. Prabhupada said, that's from something else. This is not. No. Prabhupada adopted the whole archaeology, everything. It was not very, he said, this is all speculations. But we find documentation in Srimad Bhagavatam and in the scriptures about giants, giant people, they were there. And we find different races being described, that's almost all there. But it's kind of, crazy creatures with a big mouth. Prabhupada was very doubtful of them. But still, provided they were there because there was a particular desire, that our bodies are formed by our desire. You want to eat a lot, human forms know how much you can eat. But it's a cow, a pig. You can eat practically all the time. Cow is even eating backwards, She's eating even when she's sleeping. Just always chewing on something, So then there's much better body. You can be something etheric, something light, romantic, flying around. You become a butterfly. Why not? Can you? When you see animal kingdom is full of manifestations of different kinds of consciousness. And amazing consciousness sometimes. Animals can do very often things we cannot do. They have instincts, they have perceptions which we cannot copy. Human form, analytically examined, it's very specific. Eating, not so much. Sleeping, sorry, but you will wake up. Even I was few years in Denmark, and they are really good at it. Sleeping, very popular activity. You know what the Denmarkian people do? They go, "Hello, how are you? Did you had a good sleep?" This is like a social thing. You go, why is he asking about me? Because for them this is very important. But still, even you are living in Denmark and you sleep for 2-3 days, you have to wake up. But if you get a body of a bear, then you can sleep the whole winter. No apartment needed. You have your own sleeping bag. Bears are like walking sleeping bags, you know. And you just go some leaves and then just dig yourself in and sleep the whole winter through. You wake up in springtime. Very comfortable. So, you know, then eating, sleeping, mating, come on. People talk about sex life all the time. It's all inspired by sex life, but how much of it we can have? Come on. It's just propaganda, okay? It's just propaganda. And sorry, the females are really less intelligent because they buy this propaganda. You know, they believe that. It's ridiculous. The sex impulse is geared towards one point, procreation. That's all. And every grihastha, every father can confirm that. My romantic, excited wife, after she got a child, not so much romantic. You know, she was, oh my dear. And then, now she is, and the deer, he can go out and work for the whole show. Oh my dear, bye-bye, go and work. Because he is maintainer. And that's like this, it should be like that. You know, and also the many men get frustrated. What happened to that? Now, I like my children, but it's just, it goes all in this direction. What is this? But this is just designed like this. So, any gorilla, any pigeon on the roof, they have much better time. I was walking in Vrindavan, there was a big monkey on a wall sitting. He had 20 girlfriends. You know? And the guy had sitting on the wall, he had a sex life and was eating bananas simultaneously. I was like going, good. And he looked at me like, what are you looking at? Any monkey on a wall is 1,000 times better, you know that? It's ridiculous. So much propaganda, and so much sex life. How much of our life is spent with sex life? And how much we spend with eating and sleeping? That's much more, isn't it? Sex life? It's obviously not. But it's Prabhupada, I didn't deny it. It provides a very intense pleasure. But how much? So little. And people work the whole day with it. Essentially, few minutes sex life, 30 years misery. That's a deal. If I would tell you, hey, come here. You can enjoy now. I will give you enjoyment for 3 minutes. You can enjoy like anything. And then I will slap you in the face for 30 years. Will you make such a deal? Doesn't make much sense, isn't it? Therefore people try to prevent the result. Contraceptives, just to change it. Because they know this is a bad deal. So they try contraceptives to change it. Prabhupada said, in Krishna consciousness, we have also a contraceptive method. How to avoid babies. It's called brahmacharya. That's the perfect contraceptive method. No problem. You don't have any problem? Please, hey, be my guest. It's very, very pleasant. I really, 17 years I was brahmachari, I really enjoyed myself quite a lot. I was not planning to get married. No, I knew this is going to get complicated. Then it's a question of not what you want or don't want, it's a question what you must do. Because there's only one department in a Vedic culture which is a choice. That's the Brahmana. The rest, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, all married. Must. So, yeah. It's going, okay. I have to pay the price. But I have still one condition left. Okay, I will get married, but we will preach together. My wife had to promise at the fire sacrifice. We make promises, vows. She had to promise that she will preach with me. I told this to priest, make her promise this. And she was, okay, sure, no problem. That was the mood. And this 8-9 years we preached together, I have only good memories. It was great. I was going, I have a really nice marriage. You preach, I preach. Preaching with a wife, it's powerful. You know. First of all the women coming to you, you go, I don't know. But ask my wife. They know. Women know women and men know men. Sorry, it is like that. If a man thinks, I know women, he's lying. Men are stupid, they don't know one damn thing. Until today, I managed so many ladies in Krishna consciousness as temple president, as Sankirtan leader. Until today, I don't know how they function. They laugh. You go, what are they laughing about? I don't know what they are laughing about. Sometimes they're just laughing. And you go like, what was the joke? No, they're just laughing. They're embracing each other. Oh, and you go like, what is the rasa? What is the ecstasy? You know, I don't understand anything of this. So that's very useful to have a wife. Because you go, what is this? And she goes, you don't understand this? No. Sorry, I don't even understand hair much. Sorry. You know, wife is something, I don't want to be really autobiographic, but wife is something which, in the morning, the wife can tell you, you know what? You are the biggest idiot on this planet. Possible. It's called wife. You have to tolerate. Okay. And in the evening, she tells you, what will I do without you? And you go, hey, wait a moment. In the morning, I was the idiot. Now I am the savior. It's called Grihastha Ashrama. What do you expect? And then comes the children, then it gets really crazy. You know, the children go, nyang, 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 nyang. And you go, we are not this body. And children go, that's nice, but I'm a goodie. Yeah. You go, oh boy. They speak another language. Ladies, they always speak a little bit higher, you know. You know, and men are... Usually it's like from a sound. But when children come into the picture, then things get really funny. And you get attached. Oh yeah, you get attached. It's a small, father-daughter relationship. Oh my God. I heard devotees, you know, they knew I went through this. They called me up and said, you know what? I have now a small daughter. I said, I'm quite cool. I'm a devotee, older devotee. I'm detached. No. Now I have a small daughter. You know how attached I am. Brahmacharis have no idea what I'm talking about. But to have that small princess in your arms, completely depending on you. You know, and there's no sex life. That's the beauty of it. It's completely pure. It's like, She trusts you. And she is just Papa. Complete control. My daughter gained such a control. Nobody in my life, not even my wife, controlled me like this. And I like that. I was going, here walks Manidhar, the idiot. She was hanging on me. I noticed not all grihastas have that. But I had like 6-7 years. She was growing up on me. She didn't walk. Why should she walk? I was carrying her all the time. As soon as she saw me, it was like, hey, lift me up. Here, back, everywhere. I had a very strong right arm because she was sitting on it all the time. And she was like, and then she was sitting behind my neck. And she knew, you pull right, he go right. You pull left, he goes left. And Sika, that's stop. Complete control. Such a little thing. I was like, where did I end up with this? What happened to my pride, to my self-confidence? Finished. One little thing like this. Complete control. Can you imagine a 4 years old, she must have been 4 years old, little girl tells you, I know you love me, but I didn't say you have to buy this for me. You could buy it for me if you love me. But you don't have to buy it. I didn't say you have to buy it. But you could, because if you love me, you could buy it for me. Of course I bought it. I was thinking, what a brainwashing. What a control. Who gave the intelligence to such a little thing to brainwash me like that? You know, they do that. They are perfectly, it's natural, because they are depending on you. Now my daughter is 27 years old. She looks at me like, where did you came from? Huh? She's a Swedish, self-sufficient woman. And I'm like, well, sorry, I changed all the nappies, Yeah. It's all forgotten. All these piles of nappies I was changing myself. This is all gone. Finished. It's all like a dream. It's very temporary. And the attachment, some people remain like this. Very, very painful. You have to give up on a certain point. Go, okay, that was it. Thank you for the performance. The show goes on. Okay? It's like a dream. All parents experience that. They are like, oh, my children. But the children are out doing their own thing. That's life. Especially in the West. In India, it's very, very, very different and still. Srila Prabhupada, he dedicated the Krishna book even to his father. He said he was so affectionate to me, and there was a big bond, very strong bond. But it was, Krishna was always there. It was Krishnaized. So yeah, we experienced these things. The residents of Dwaraka were certainly accustomed to a very opulent environment, very opulent existence, but they didn't for 1 second where all this comes from. The supreme, there was no demand. Give me, give me, give me. Some people come to Krishna consciousness with this kind of attitude. Wrong place, really wrong place. Therefore, I really was the lucky man. I joined this movement. You got nothing as devotional service. Nobody had anything. What did I got? Blank floor to sleep on, like anybody else. Going out distributing books like anybody else. I was prasadam. That was the only, and Prabhupada said, let them enjoy that. It's the only really enjoyment, bodily enjoyment they have. Sleeping, forget it. They were kicking me right away in the morning. Brahmachari ashram, you lie on a floor and somebody steps on you on the way to the shower. I woke up, somebody stepped on me. And you go, Prabhu. And they look at you, we are not this body. And then they go, That was those days like this. Nowadays I think it's more cultured. A shower. You know what my shower was for years? Was a can with water in a car. Or when I came to the temple, it was a gummy pipe which was going into the garden like this. There was a wooden pallet. That was the shower. Because it was such a small house, there was only one bathroom. That was occupied by the Matajis. Brahmacharis, hey, you just follow the pipe in the darkness every morning. Summer and winter. Same thing. Until today, I got a little bit addicted to that. Until today, I don't like warm water. I don't know why, but So you run through the frozen grass, following the pipe. With constantly running water, if you would stop it, it's freezing. We run and you do follow. There was no light even. There was just a pallet. So you jump on a pallet, it's frozen, And then you go, Hare Krišna! And then you run back the pipe again. And there's another brahmachari already running, That was our shower in the morning. I was amazing. I'm until today amazed. I just recently visited the place. Small house in the suburbs of city of Heidelberg. And I noticed, my God, there were houses next to it. Not completely close, but 50 meters further, it's another house, and another house. I was going, what were these people thinking when they were sleeping at night, 3 o'clock in the morning, screams from the garden. Brahmacharis are showering. Hare Krišna! We didn't care that the neighbors are sleeping. Kamis, Maya, It must have been really foul. Nobody was ever complaining. It was amazing. We had really good neighbors. So this is what you got. And what you got in return? Lots of ecstasy. The kirtans, oh my God. You were tearing down the rooms, It was young and passionate, When you are young, you don't know the difference between passion and enthusiasm. It's all the same, I remember after the kirtan, the brahmacharis washing the mridangas, they were all bloody. All the drummers, they had taped with industrial taped fingers. 3 hours, full blast. They're saying, this was a good kirtan, the mridanga is bloody. It's crazy, If I remember all this, we were pretty crazy actually. But when you are young, what remains is only the ecstasy, the bliss, absolute bliss. We were so blissful we couldn't sleep. Can you imagine? I was lying in a brahmachari ashram and everybody was like, ah! I woke up finally, falling asleep. The brahmachari next to me was sitting in his sleeping bag, still sleeping. And he was smiling. And he was going, and if you could give a little bit more, that would be nice. He was distributing books. In sleeping bag, in the middle of the night. He didn't get out of it. We were like that. So, now it's just memories, but there is a difference, definitely difference between passion and enthusiasm. Passion will vanish. But the enthusiasm shouldn't. Now I cannot dance for 3 hours, Now I can go, Hare Bol, and then, okay, maybe I should go to the chiropractor, The hydraulics are not as they used to be. But the enthusiasm should remain. We should never get submitted ourselves to some melancholy, Prabhupada called it melancholy of old age. What is melancholy? Frustrated material desires. That's all. Oh, I wanted to be this, and now I am that. Oh, why didn't they realize I am so genius? Why didn't I got this? Why didn't this happen? Why didn't this happen? Well, it didn't happen, so what? What can I do about it? I tried, but sorry, it didn't happen. But it's still something happening, I can use that. Very pragmatic thinking. So, anyway, the original point being made here is the mood of the residents of Dwaraka, worshipping with awe and reverence. This should be actually our mood. And then if somebody is claiming that he had progressed to the more intimate mood, intimate worship of Radha and Krishna and all this, it's possible. But Prabhupada said, you don't fight for it. It will come naturally, on its own, by a blessing. It may be a momentum coming where we suddenly realize, oh my God, I really love Krishna. Love is not something you order or you program. It comes on its own. I mean, you know it, an perverted reflection in a material world. How do you fall in love? You have no idea. It's just happening. You go, it's just happening. It's from heart. Heart is something you don't put it in a rational, material context. It's just happening. Krishna consciousness, Prabhupada said, is happening in the heart. So one day, maybe, and hopefully, there are stages which are scientifically described. The first comes sadhana. Rules, regulations, discipline. That must be there. And then, by doing this, suddenly you realize, I'm not doing it because I have to do it. I'm doing it because I like it. That's called ruchi, taste. Taste came up. And you miss it. You sing, hey, where's my beat back? Hey. Where are the devotees? Oh, where can I have a darshan of the deities? You're missing it. Oh, that's already very good. That's ruchi. And then from that platform comes bhava. That's already very, very intense love. Then by that time you are losing the concept of regulations. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, don't depend on the performance of the regulations themselves. They are just a means, a way to get to that bhava platform. And after bhava comes prema, that's, I'm not going to lecture about. Even bhava is something, it's still vulnerable. It can be compromised. Prema cannot be compromised, no. That's absolute, pure love of Godhead. Maharaj Bharata was on a level of bhava. He was on the level of bhava, but because he had this kshatriya body, he got compromised by the impulse to protect. So he was protecting a little deer, drowning in the river. And got attached. I know what I'm talking about. I don't want to be autobiographic. Damn it, this protection impulse. But it cannot stop it. Maharaj Bharata couldn't stop it. People say, oh, that's wonderful. You are the protector. Come protect me. Nah, you get in trouble like this. They will not even thank you for that. Who's going to thank you for your protection? No, but that's a conditioning which is powerful, it's there. You forget even eating, you forget sleeping, you have to protect. My daughter, she knows that. She knows. Papa is nice, he makes jokes, but if somebody try to harm me, he will kill him. Ah! She knows that. So she's always regulating me. Okay, we will go somewhere, but you stay cool, okay? Not this bodyguard business, Just stay cool. As soon as I'm next to her, I'm just, okay, where's it coming from? What is it? I don't want that, but it will happen. Guarantee it will happen. And she knows that. She goes like, cool down. There's nothing happening. And I'm like, I don't want to be too out. But she's used me sometimes like that too, yeah. Especially when the boys are coming too close in a unwanted way. This is lecture. I shouldn't actually get into this, but I know devotees like to hear stories. So. One very enthusiastic Vaishnava from South America got very excited over my Torah. She's organizing youth tours, ISKCON youth tours all over the world. It's a very powerful program. It's just children of devotees. They come together, 30, 40, sometimes more of them. And they travel in a certain locations. This year they were in Wales, in England. And they go temple by temple. They make little harinam on their own. It's children of devotees, So for them, Krishna consciousness is like, they saw their parents sitting on a vyasas and giving a lecture. My daughter, when she sees me, now he sits again there, What is this? I cannot give a lecture to my daughter for sure because she grew up with this thing and she knows, she thinks, yeah, Papa is lecturing again. This is what happens. So I'm very enthusiastic Argentina Vaishnava. He got very excited over here. She said, shh. We are friends, we are traveling here, on the program. Take it easy. No, he was from South America. Passion. So she said, there's a line here, you don't cross it. Oh, he was thinking, that's a challenge. They are male Vaishnavas like this. They have big tattoos here. They play beautiful Mridanga. And they chant Hare Krišna, but only in a direction where the Matajis are. They are famous actually. If you want some address, I can give you names. So, the Matajis knows them already. It's him. Oh, yeah. They know. So my daughter was like, and then she said, did you ever heard the name Manidhar? And he said, Manidhar? Yeah, that book distributor. Someone, even in South America, it's internet. They know this. I never was there. But he goes, oh yeah, I know Manidhar. She said, no you don't, it's my father. And he was going, oh, this is wonderful. I said, not so wonderful for you. If you don't stop, your fantasy cannot even reach that far to imagine what Manidhara Das can do to you. And you will have no place to hide. He will find you. You understand that? And she told me that. I was going, you told him that? She said, yeah. It worked beautifully. Pop. He was out. He found another one. Anyway. So, so I can, at least on remote control, I can surf to my daughter like this, just by boom, And besides that, she knows. She was right. I would find him. So, so it's like, you can't stop this nature. It's impossible. So everybody has a particular nature. We cannot even change it in Krishna consciousness. We should just use it for Krishna. That's all. Prabhupada, when he was preaching, he was amazing. Even amongst my godbrothers, I heard the testimonies. Prabhupada had a completely different relationship to them. One of my godbrothers, he said, I got only one instruction from Prabhupada. Whenever you get the opportunity, make some money. He said, and he was in bliss, beaming in ecstasy when he said that. Well, he would do it anyway. That's his nature. Even without Prabhupada. Prabhupada knew that. There was another godbrother, Prabhupada took shelter in him. Oh, please protect me. Brahmananda. Oh, he was Prabhupada's bodyguard. There was a man coming, Darshan. And the man was very aggressive. He started to argue with Prabhupada, and Prabhupada was just sitting there. And the more he argued, the less Prabhupada was involved. He was very aggressive, the man. Very insulting. And then Prabhupada looked very calmly on him and he said, yes, is this man sitting next to me? Brahmananda. He said, he is my disciple. He will do exactly what I tell him. So if I tell him to kill you, he will do it immediately. The man looked at Brahmananda, and Brahmananda was already like this. Devotional service, ki jai. Very convincing argument. The man immediately got up and ran away and got out. That was the end of that darshan. Brahmananda was a bit frustrated. Oh, okay. Now he left. No devotional service. Okay. That was that kind of relationship. Prabhupada was amazing. He had a wonderful, everybody felt inspired because he could use and invest his nature. He didn't have to change anything. Prabhupada looked at the Matajis, and he told his servant, look how they are serving me. He said, they have their motherly instincts. We have to facilitate that, So Prabhupada was like, thank you, my mother. And it was real. I can show you letters from Prabhupada which are shocking. This is not a guru writing to a disciple. These very personal letters, but Prabhupada writes, actually, my father was very affectionate and I was a very naughty boy. I gave him always hard time. But he fulfilled every of my desires. It's a famous story. Prabhupada got a present, kind of plastic, pistol. And immediately he argued with the father, but you gave me one. I need two because I have two hands. Where's the other one? And the father said, but you already have one. He said, no, but I have two hands. A small boy, Prabhupada. Prabhupada said, I was very naughty. I was a very demanding boy. Prabhupada said, naughtiness is a sign of intelligence. Stupid kids are not naughty. They are very nice because they don't get any idea. But clever kids, they get lots of ideas. Then you have a problem. They're always running around with lots of ideas. Prabhupada was like that. He said, I was a very demanding kid. So my father always fulfilled my desires. But then he died. It was a great loss for me. But Krishna was so kind. He gave me so many fathers and mothers. American, he called them my American fathers and mothers. And you are taking care of me so nicely. So now I'm actually like your child. I mean, can you imagine? And the response was, that's the real relationship. Prabhupada, with all what he had, he tried to serve us. What was the response? With all what we had, we tried to serve him. And then amazing things happen. He writes to Brahmananda, you write, you are my disobedient son. I think I am your disobedient father because I place such unrational demands on you. And Prabhupada really asked for things like pretty shocking, He said, we don't have any preaching center in China. Why don't you go to China? What? China? What shall I do in China? Preach? And it happened. Prabhupada was sending devotees to the most bizarre locations, and they did it. And those devotees who did that, I spoke to them. They said, I never experienced such an ecstasy in my life. To go out and vocabulary to risk your life for Prabhupada, that was ecstasy. And Prabhupada was so present. He was with us all the time. That's the reason why I saw Prabhupada personally 3 times, but I never spoke to him because he was always with me. That happens when you have somebody living in your heart. It's okay. The physical meeting is beautiful, it's amazing, it's wonderful. But outside of that, no, the person is always with you because he's living in your heart. That's the ultimate relationship to spiritual master, I believe. That's how it should be. I just read my offering this year in a farm festival, and I read out my offering, and some devotees were crying. And one devotee said, I mean, you met Prabhupada last time, 50 years ago, but you speak like you met him yesterday. I said, for me it's yesterday, sorry. Time has no play, there's no time. There's no time. Prabhupada was such a personality, and you speak to anybody of my god sisters, god brothers, who really had that kind of association or that kind of relationship to Prabhupada, they speak about him like he is just left yesterday. Because it's just impossible to forget him. It's not possible to leave his association because such a personality. So I can go for this on this the whole day, but better not because I always get too emotional. So thank you for listening. Thank you for this, and let's keep the first serve and then deserve mood that keep us safe in Krishna consciousness. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.